jab, uppercut, leave you laid out on the floor. Try to duck and roll, hit and miss, now you counting stars. Should've practiced more, should've hit the mask, get out there more. Man, that you're the best. You gotta show me, son. Actions over words, baby boy. Is you real or what? Talking way too much, world come. Back sports, talking way too much, world come. Back sports, talking way too much, world come. Back
Shout out to the hottest chat in the MFing game, A-Side official. No negotiation needed, period. The first in the building, Carlos Rosado. I see you on deck. What it do, man? Salute to you. Ryan really gonna be on something talking. Hey, man, we're gonna get down to it. And shout out to Carlos, always jumping in, supporting the channel, talking that boxing. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes ad-libbing, maximizing, you know what I'm saying, his humorous side of life. Dev made himself look bad on social media coming at Ryan. Hey, man. So I'm about to attempt to break this down because I am not nowhere an expert in this field. But some crazy things has popped off, y'all. This is all in the aftermath of Ryan Garcia defeating Devin Haney. And though I thought for sure Devin Haney was going to beat Ryan Garcia, it didn't happen. Ryan Garcia went in there and dominated. All right. He was able to earn 3 knockdowns, you know what I'm saying, in the fight, in the 7th, 10th, and 11th. But at the end of the day, it's all about what we think we know versus what we actually do know. In front of you on the thumbnail, it says balancing out the truth. NADROLONE, Ostarine. Ryan Garcia was allegedly proven guilty before innocent when these popped dirty in his ASAP. So his ASAP said NADROLONE is what he came back. NADROLONE is tough. From what I read, is very it's an anabolic. It can be taken orally or injectable. And from what I read, most of it, you know, to see the effects, is injectable. You go to the injection. Ostarine is more of a fragile type. You know, I don't know the source of where this freaking enhancer is coming from, because everybody want to make their generic brands. And that's where, with any supplementation, that's where it gets dirty. You know what I'm saying? That's where everything gets dirty. Ostarine has been said to be less expensive to put into supplements, and is whatever wherever they're getting it from is not FDA approved. So they can source this from anywhere. You know what I'm saying? It's much more easier for them to make or to put into supplements and get it past the FDA. Why? Because they usually put it in a supplement and don't list it. You're supposed to list everything that's on a supplement when that is so-called released to the public, or you trying to sell it to the consumer. But Ostarine is out here like a stepchild. You know what I'm saying? An orphan. No one really knows the true source of Ostarine. So what I'm telling you right off the bat for Ryan Garcia, he's turned up to be negative with the NADROLONE. Now I'm gonna tell you straight up, when you're balancing out NADROLONE and Ostarine, y'all, and you come up negative with NADROLONE, the most potent one, nobody gives a damn about Ostarine. Nobody's gonna give a damn about Ostarine, because the source of Ostarine, at the end of the day, it is so many venues and so many entities out there that's putting this shit together. Whether it's potent or not, it's still on the banned substance list. But you have to look at it like, where's the stuff coming from? Who's making it? Let me show you some. Let me let you read something right quick. All right. Let me let you read something right quick. Let me bring this up. Just bear with me. I'm about to show you something else that's fact when it comes to these drug tests. Now, everybody want to be an expert. I know. Everybody wants to be an expert with this, and they want to come up here and combine their opinions and try to present it out to the public like it's fact. I get it. You know, this is a hot topic right now. Why? Because Ryan Garcia basically handed Devin Haney his first loss. Of course, if you're Team Haney, you want this investigation to be thorough. You want the investigation to cover all areas. You want them to clean it up. You want it to be policed. Look at what this says. Okay? This says, we just had an African fighter who on the contract was supposed to be, they supposed to have been tested, and he wanted the test. And then the closer and closer the fight, they went to the commission and said, hey, no one's tested me yet. And the commission straight up told him, hey, you want to fight or not? They decided not to do testing. He went in there and got stopped. The only reason he don't have a case because he already had a loss. And I think he had been stopped before. But it was in the contract. And I try to explain to people about these state athletic commissions. They do their own thing sometime. But let's go back. There's no consistent drug testing in boxing. Once again, there's no consistent drug testing in boxing. Some state athletic commissions test on their own. The WBC has its Clean Boxer program. Listen to what it's saying. But many of the fighters in it say they have never been tested. Many boxers sign up to be tested by voluntary anti-doping agency VADA. There are a few, like bantamweight champion Nonito Donaire, who tested 24/7, 365 by VADA. But the vast majority are tested only during training camp, y'all. Only during training camp. Shout out to Nonito Donaire. You know, a future Hall of Famer, a legend of the sport. You know what I'm saying? There's plenty of fighters that seem to advocate for this. but we're dealing with NADROLONE, Ostarine. We're trying to balance out the severity of which is the worst. Out of Ostarine and NADROLONE, NADROLONE is the heaviest. Then we have to compare that as to why and how or what Ryan Garcia would have needed this for. Did his past performances show us? Well, did something come up against Oscar Duarte that he popped dirty, or there was some speculation that his test was dirty? We didn't hear that. So he goes in here with the fighter, and I'm not taking no shots, Team Haney, but it had been said time and time again and seen in the ring that he doesn't possess punching power like that. So what was Ryan Garcia? What would be his reasoning for using such heavy anabolic steroids for, like NADROLONE? You know what I'm saying? What would be the reason for that? Let me continue reading. The samples of blood and or urine taken in testing done for the UFC on its fighters by the U.S. anti-doping agency USADA, and the testing by VADA done on boxers who sign up for its program are sent to the same labs. Now, those of you that follow MMA, I said this before. John Jones had been in and out of the cage. He had his title stripped for basically testing positive for recreational drug and performance. Okay. So therefore, you know, it came a time where John Jones is on his way back to the cage, and it was much anticipated, and he popped dirty. This is a time where the cameras were zoned in on him. He was up there crying like a baby because he felt that he did nothing wrong. I'm talking about the lens couldn't zoom in any closer on John Jones coming back to the cage, and he pops up dirty. Therefore, during his suspension, a lot of things took place with USADA. Though he tested positive, he did not test positive with higher levels. You know how they said, how they was putting out qualitative instead of quantitative. So it's either is or you ain't. Well, that wasn't the case with John Jones. Come to find out, during his suspension and them trying to figure it all out, John Jones had to go before the commission and convince them that he hasn't taken any new performance enhancing drugs at all. And they had to, really do research. And it kind of changed up with USADA, because usually when a fighter tests positive with USADA, they announced it. But without any further investigation, if it pops dirty, they announce it. John Jones kind of got that changed because they found out that if a fighter was using a pad and it was leaving his system, and they actually came back, because not everybody's physical anatomy is different. I mean, the same, right? Everyone is different. And they found out the body flushes out any type of performance enhancing drugs differently. It depended on what that fighter was taking and how much he was taking, he or she was taking it. And so the picograms that was coming up with John Jones was extremely low, but they registered as a performance enhancing drug that he did before. The levels wasn't any higher or lower. So this kind of changed things up with USADA. The only reason I'm mentioning this is that, it kind of changed up the way they do testing, because it can be flawed too. And at the end of the day, we must remember, when it comes to drug testing, we must understand no drug testing system is 100% foolproof. Okay? No drug testing system is 100% foolproof. We know that. There's a major gap in the anti-doping system employed in boxing that makes it far easier for a boxer to use banned substance, cycle off, and yet still reap the benefits from it than there is for a UFC fighter. They're talking about VADA versus USADA. Okay. It goes on to say there are only two main differences. VADA tests for 70 substances that WADA bans only in competition, and USADA does not. USADA testing is 24/7, 365, while VADA testing is only for a contracted period of time. Do y'all hear me? Do y'all hear me? There are only two main differences. VADA tests for 70 substance that WADA bans only in competition, and USADA does not. USADA testing is 24/7, 365, while VADA testing is only for a contracted period of time. It goes on to say that's a huge loophole, Victor Conti admitted, of the lack of all the time testing by VADA. You know what I'm saying? And look, guess how long ago this article was, y'all? This was back in 2021. You know what I'm saying? This is back in 2021. Y'all remember when Oscar Valdez supposedly tested positive for a medication and he was advocated for and allowed to fight? Nobody mentions that. Not only was he tested dirty, he popped dirty. I'm bringing Oscar Valdez because not too many people even knew what he tested dirty for, but it was on the ban list, right? A prohibited substance. This is the same thing with Ostarine. I don't care who these cats are. They didn't know what the hell Ostarine was. They know not what Ostarine actually does for the fighter. They'll tell you what NADROLONE is because they say it's an anabolic steroid. But Ostarine, it wasn't ever a conversation where us as voices out here in this media universe was talking about Ostarine and the effects that it have on fighters. Because fighters are not out here using Ostarine. Ostarine is so freaking low key, misinterpreted, out of sight, out of mind. You know what I'm saying? Like, for a fighter to test for Ostarine, it would take a combination of things, or in this case, it comes out of nowhere. And that coming out of nowhere, like the video I let you listen to, the guy say it can come from contamination. Anybody can put Ostarine in a regular supplement, and you can never know it because they pretty much just going under the radar and cutting corners and not listing on supplements because it's not legal. So they just putting anything. They can put Ostarine in a supplement, and therefore we don't know anything about it. But let's be honest with ourselves first and foremost. Nobody on this dang YTC was talking about Ostarine. Name me a fighter that has popped dirty for Ostarine. Oscar Valdez didn't. Canelo Alvarez didn't. You understand? So there's a lot of people, and they have the right to do it. I'm not no way excoriating them for speaking about this shit. But the only thing I wanted to do is try to basically balance out the severity of NADROLONE and Ostarine. So let's try to insert another banned substance into the equation, which could be quantitative. Canelo Alvarez, for instance, he tested positive for Clenbuterol. Those of you don't look at me and say, "Oh man, why you bring Canelo in?" I'm doing it just because y'all did too. Y'all brought Canelo into the equation. That's why y'all call him Clenello. He tested positive. But check this out though. Clen does something different than NADROLONE and Ostarine. There's a purpose when it comes to professional boxing that you have to do every time you are heading or contractually obligated to step into the ring. What is that? That is lose weight. You have to lose weight. You have to cut weight. And you want to cut weight to a point where you still sustain your muscularity. You know what I'm saying? Muscle recovery and everything else. Let's go and listen to what this guy had to say about the Clenbuterol. And you're going to find it very, very interesting. You know what I'm saying? On the severity of Clenbuterol comparable to Ostarine. Okay. The drug that everybody want to become familiar with, like it's your next door neighbor. Like you go to the gyms and let me take my Ostarine. Nobody knew what the hell Ostarine was until Ryan Garcia, it came back on his test. Now everybody is an expert. Listen to this guy.
This is because another benefit of Clem is that it can really help with muscle retention and prevent muscle catabolism when cutting. Remember guys, the hottest trial to overcome for a natural lifter when cutting or getting shredded is not going catabolic and keeping a full look to your muscles. To lose weight, you must put your body in a calorie deficit. So muscle wasting is always a risk, even if you're only cutting 250 to 500 calories a day.
So he's talking about a supplement and saying 250 to 500 calories a day, which for a lot of us, that's very minuscule. I'm talking about you barely consuming anything that has a high sugar intake, that's high in fat and all of that. You're talking about 250 to 500, and also you're maintaining your TDEE, your total daily energy expenditure, which he's going to talk about that.
Day from your TDEE. So really sit for a moment and think about the struggle natural lifters go through in order to bulk or cut. When bulking, you have to gain some fat. You're in a calorie surplus. It's science, guys. And to cut, you need to be in a deficit, which will result in some muscle loss along with fat loss. So it's no wonder why Clenbuterol is so popular among physique competitors.
He said Clenbuterol is very popular amongst physique competitors. That's bodybuilding, physique, any type of physique competition. But when it comes to boxing, what will a fighter use it for? Maintaining muscle, being able to continue to train at a high level while cutting weight. You know what I'm saying? Basically sustaining that fat gain. You don't want to be 12% and you wondering how you're gonna reduce that body fat percent. You know what I'm saying? Keeping your BMI within a respectable range, body mass index. You know what I'm saying? All of that plays a role. And unfortunate, for the civilian pop, especially in NPC, where they compete at, it's not a natural contest. Nobody wants to see a natural contest. But in combat sports, they want it to be somewhat fair. Performance enhancing drugs haven't been proven to say, okay, you learn a lot more in a quicker time when it comes to combination, when it comes to overall technique, boxing IQ. Pads don't do that for you. Pads just allow that particular pugilist to go in there and train and have a certain type of recovery that's outside the normalcy of just doing it without the pads. You may feel sore for a bit more. You may go through some body changes a lot more during training camp. But what pads allow you to do is maintain a high level of recovery and a high level of training consistency. It keeps your body at a sustainable rate where we all know when you start to work out and go through camp, you have to tear your body down. You have to start transferring that fat to muscle. Not everybody has that body type where you can just brag about and say, damn, so-and-so shredded. Like right now, Frank Martin has a shredded physique. He has a wrestling pedigree. You know what I'm saying? He's able to maintain a certain muscle tone, right? As in Mikey Garcia. Mikey Garcia always to me looked like a soggy tater tot. For real, he looked like a mashed potato. But Mikey could fight. When he went in there against Robert Easter, man, at 135, I say, damn, I can't even count a freaking striation. I couldn't count a line where his muscle was at. I couldn't see anything. It looked like a freaking it looked like a piece of Laffy Taffy. This man didn't have no muscles, but I'm just saying, people cut weight differently. Just because you don't see the muscle, it's still internally you want to sustain, that type of conditioning. You know what I'm saying? You don't want to catch an injury. Also, pads help your body, recover quicker to prevent injury. Some people get injuries during camp that may be on pads because they feel so good They do more than what they normal with outside their normal schedule. You know, maybe they was doing 2 a days, and they come and do 3 a days, and then within that 3 a days, let's just say they're not stretching. You know, that muscle is tearing down now, it's building itself up, and the repair process is quick. Well, we ask ourselves, what would Ryan Garcia need Ostarine for? Because we have found out the scales has balanced heavier on the side of NADROLONE being the most potent and lethal and the most enhancer. So with that said, we want to deal with Ostarine right now. Ostarine is the substance that is now being tested. Ryan Garcia has said to request his sample, and he has the experts up there to try to figure out what this is about. And I'm pretty sure he has every bit of supplements that he took, including that ashwagandha root. I'm pretty sure that ashwagandha root is going to be tested, because anybody who takes supplements will tell you, you never fully take the entire supplement. Like, you just don't buy, if it's ashwagandha root and they say, hey, you should take this, you get more than what you actually need in case you run out. So you're always going to say, okay, from this particular company, I want to purchase this ashwagandha root and give me 3 bottles, or however it comes in, because you want, somebody's probably recommended it for Ryan Garcia. He started taking it. And I'm just saying, allegedly, he felt good. He's like, oh man, I like this ashwagandha root. So if it came from the same company, they should be able to test and see if it has Ostarine in it, because it's proven that they have mentioned that Ostarine can come from anywhere. They don't have no primary source. They don't have a single entity. You know what I'm saying? Just like all these anabolics, you have the black market. You have the so-called real market. And no one knows, because you just can't walk up into a vitamin store and say, can I get some NADROLONE? And to be honest, I don't see what the big deal about average people acting like this is crazy. Pets are crazy if you're just a regular civilian. But I can see where they can make a big deal out of it when it comes to, athletics. Because people say, you want to be quote unquote fair. The body type ain't fair. Everybody's physical structure isn't fair. Everybody is different. Every man ain't the same. Everybody don't eat the same meals. If you did a freaking control study and you put the same age, 2 males on the nutritional plan for the same amount of time, they're going to come out with different body fat. They're going to come out with different muscularity. It's going to be different all the way through. Their levels are going to be different, all that. And they could have just did the same thing for the allotted time within the control study, y'all. No physical anatomy is the same. So that brings us to Ryan Garcia's concern. Ryan Garcia has made it perfectly clear he didn't take roids. So somebody answer me this. Why did the New York State Athletic Commission executive resign? Kim Sumler resigns from position. Have y'all ever seen? Do y'all even know who Kim Sumler was? Why did she automatically resign in light of what we have going on with Ryan Garcia's test? The reason for her resigning is for personal reasons. A New York Department of State representative told MMA Junkie on Wednesday that Sumler recently resigned for personal reasons. Sumler told Boxing Scene, which first reported the news, she departed the position to care for her elderly parents. Sumler will be replaced in an acting capacity by Matthew Delagilo. DeLaguilo, who has worked for the NYDOS since 2015, most recently serving as the NSAC's boxing director. Previously worked for the New Jersey-based Main Events boxing promotion. She says, while I no longer will be able to contribute to the continued growth of the Athletic Commission for these personal reasons, I firmly believe that the Athletic Commission couldn't be in better hands. Matthew will assume the role of acting executive director. I'm sure you're a leader for the commission than Matt. I wish all the great success, happiness, and fulfillment this position has to offer for Matthew. It has been a great honor and a tremendous privilege to serve the people of the state of New York, the commission, and the combat sports community. So all of a sudden, Miss Sumler steps away and resigns to care for her elderly parents who's been elderly for quite some time. Now, I'm not saying this has any connection to Ryan Garcia's situation, but I'm saying it seems like there may be some type of freaking connection. There may be a twitch. You know what I'm saying? There might have been a spark in the line. There may be some type of informational intel that she didn't want to be a part of that may come to the surface or may have already came to the surface. Maybe she's basically being proactive enough to say, I want to separate myself from this if it gets any worse, so I won't be fired. It's just strange that we have a situation going on with NSAC, right? None of this was spoken on previously. No one was talking about her leaving. And then all of a sudden, in light of the more in-depth investigation to Ryan Garcia's B sample for Ostarine, of all substance, she steps away. Now, I'm only prognosing. You know what I'm saying? It's allegedly. I'm just basically speaking in an assuming manner. You know, I don't know for sure. It just seemed a bit eccentric out of nowhere that she steps down and she is the executive. Back to Ryan Garcia, though. And those of you in the chat, let me get to the chat right quick. I'm going to leave Kim Sumler up there because it's just a little bit strange that she was able to resign in light of what is going on with Ryan Garcia's testing. All right. Give me a minute to go through. Shout out to OG Mr. Golden. I see you. Shout out to Conquest. Bet that commission wasn't for the BS. I'm retired. Hey, man. She might have been with the BS. She just don't want it to come back. You know, like that tsunami. You know how people be skipping rocks in the pond? Oh, them little ripples don't do anything. It's when you go to the big pool. And you know damn well when you throw that rock out there, you're going to get a different reaction. For real. I think there's a little bit more to it. Hey, you on deck? What's good with it, man? Jessica, the queen, is on deck. Blue Hustle Man on deck. I see you, man. What's good? That guy in the building. Yeah, Pavekian. I wasn't trying to, give all the pad users because it's a lot that's out there. You know what I'm saying? But you're right, Pavekian. But I brought up the Oscar Valdez because, Mauricio Suleiman did his due diligence to raise the levels and permit him to continue to fight. And he held a title and they robbed Hobson Conceição. It was just crazy, man. But now, I'm going to tell you straight up. This Ostarine shit ain't going to have no, I'm talking about when you talking about toothpick ankles. I'm talking about toothpick ankles in the NFL. And it's a running back. They say, man, I don't know how he did. Got them toothpick ankles. How he's going to run through the middle. I'm talking about toothpick ankles. This shit don't have nothing to stand on, bro. They can sit up here and try to build up and bloviate freaking Ostarine. Yeah, Ostarine can contaminate a supplement. Yes, it's not impossible for an athlete to test positive. Even Ryan Garcia. But the question remains, Why would he have to go through these depths to step in there and fight if he never had any intentions of making 140? Why? He had every intention to come in 3 pounds over. So what was the purpose of him willingly taking any type of banned substance? It don't make any sense, man. Seriously, it doesn't make any sense to me. None. Dan on deck, what's good? I'll tell you, these YT experts or something else. Look, it's okay, right, for people to speak on a topic. I do the same thing they're doing, but what they're trying to do is, I'm speaking from a person who kind of stays closely, how you put it? It's not an intimate type of reading, but I do have enough knowledge on nutrition, and I have competed on the big stage. So I know about, how to diet over long periods of time, how to build up a certain physique, how to cut down without losing muscle mass. You know what I'm saying? Certain things here and there when it comes to natural foods and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? And then, looking at this from a different angle on what was the reason. Why would that? What is the angle for Ryan Garcia taking these depths to cut corners? For Haney, he already been in there with Gervonta Davis. He didn't test positive and he got up from a knockdown. Have y'all asked yourself that? He caught a clean left hand up top early in the fight and got up. He didn't test positive for Gervonta Davis for Tank. He didn't test dirty. Once again, he didn't test dirty. I don't know. Wasn't Gervonta considerably much more of a dangerous threat than Devin Haney? Absolutely. El Chin Checker? Absolutely. So why didn't he test positive for that Tank fight? Rehydrate back 30, 35 pounds. I'm going to tell you from being on deck at the fights, Conquest. IVs. IVs are used more than what people, want to talk about or converse, in those sidebar conversations. But yes, IVs. You really don't have to go through an extreme to rehydrate. All you have to do is get that IV, put it, intravenous, and you'll hydrate real nice. Real talk. MKB on deck. Martin King Boxing on deck in the building. What's good with it, brother? I see you. Powerlifters don't show muscles. Not sure what type of powerlifting you looking at. Are you talking about prayer mantis? Are you talking about roly-poly, snails? What powerlifting you talking about? I've been to so many powerlifters contests. Them dudes are huge, and I guarantee you they're not wearing a freaking chinchilla or a freaking a bomber jacket or some type of freaking layer. No, them dudes are big and they do have muscles. I don't know which one you watching. Is it virtual? Is it freaking Looney Tunes powerlifting contest? Because the ones I've been to, them dudes are huge. So can we compare that to Better Be for Play? No, I'm just trying to keep it in a sense where when you put the scales of attention that's being given to these pads, you have people saying, "Oh well, he tested dirty." This that. Look, when it comes to public, the judgment of the public. We just live in a different society right now where certain things like several years ago would be considered a lot more severe and sensitive. That has since washed away. So when it comes to pads, people really don't care about the pads unless it's a certain name. You know what I'm saying? Like the name, like you have fighters testing positive all the time, but it depends on how much of a popular fighter they are. You know what I'm saying? How high are they on the chain of command of the food chain? Who are they? You know what I'm saying? How do we know them? When people look at Ryan Garcia, this was a freaking fight that everybody was looking forward to. And the way it went down, it was unexpected. Then all of a sudden, with the unexpectation comes with the dirty test. Now people are trying to, say, oh, per the deductive reasoning, this is the evidence that we have collected. So they're trying to collect and put this whole formulation down to say this is how this, and this went down to equal this result right here. And that's not really it, because they was accusing him of taking NADROLONE to compare to the results that he got in the ring with knocking Devin down. And then you have people up here saying, well, you had a small percentage of real diehard boxing fans say, well, that's not true, because he didn't need to take that for technique. Technique is technique. Pez didn't do anything for the left hook. Even I said, well, Ostarine may have, and NADROLONE, he might have did something with, with the power or something, but that doesn't have anything to do with boxing IQ to basically enhance a fighter's, mechanical, those vibes, those decision-making skills that you have for your physical mechanics. It's no way that it puts a clock and helps you with timing. It doesn't enhance your boxing intellect to say this is when you should throw the left hook. If Ryan was in there just throwing the shit like he was in there with Luke Campbell, and even slow ass Luke Campbell was able to slip Ryan Garcia's left hook. Even Gervonta Davis slipped Ryan Garcia's left hook. So Ryan has been throwing and overcompensating with this left hook for quite some time because we have spoken on it, right? So we can't add a performance enhancing drug to it and say, oh, he hasn't even really thrown that left hook like that. Yes, he's throwing the left hook like he always throw the left hook, bro. He's been throwing it. It's just with Tank already knew, and he was slipping underneath it beautifully, and he was able to land a counter. Oscar Duarte, he fought a different fight, and he used it sparingly. But with Haney, when he began to let his hands go, y'all saw what happened. Yeah, Burns said this is ish with MCI. I don't know what MCI mean, Conquest. Arnold Brown on deck. What's good with it, Arnold? I see you in the building. Boxing Conversation with Reggie Owens on deck. Salute to you. Superman on deck. Salute, man. Justin, my humor zone. This issue is so comical to me. Well, be careful with saying comical, because these guys are becoming freaking lab scientists now. You know what I'm saying? They're in the laboratory now. And like I said before, I'm not knocking anyone who selects to talk about this and speak on it with vigor. Speak on it with a sense of understanding, like they did their research and they speaking on it like from a point of expertise. I get it, bro. It's a hot topic right now. But what I'm telling you is, this is not a bodybuilding contest. This wasn't a fight where the consensus was saying it was a lopsided prediction where Devin Haney was going to wash Ryan Garcia and Ryan didn't have no hope. He just ain't on that level. It wasn't anybody saying that shit. They didn't say Ryan was going to wash Devin. So what they're trying to inject into this whole scenario when it comes to Haney Garcia is that maybe Garcia thought he had to overdo it. He had to come in here and become a juice head and get himself over the top as a superhero to come in there and blast through Haney. And truth be told, he didn't blast through Devin. Yeah, the fight became very, very interesting when the first knockdown happened, how it happened, and how Devin returned back to his base. That was interesting. The look he had on his face, the slow-mo, how it looked like Ryan really hurt him, that was concerning to everyone. So now they trying to say, yeah, he was juiced up. It doesn't work that way. Look, you got bodybuilders in the gym that is on all types of shit, and they can't fight a lick. They can fight them barbells and dumbbells. They can go in there and goddamn fight position and get the cables. They can go in here and goddamn argue and say, hey, I mean, you got muscles to build muscles. You're just bullshitting. You're on your phone. You know, they'll fight over a machine now. They'll fight over a treadmill and goddamn a freaking stationary cycle. But when it comes time for them big muscles, the throw hands, yeah, that shit look good in the tank top in the gym before you get in front of somebody who know how to box. And just because you all bulked up don't mean you're going to be up here Hulk smash. It doesn't work that way. Regardless of who, what, when, and where, and how, he needs to be suspended for having it in his system at all. Too many boxers getting off because of non-intentional excuses. They make too much money for that. Well, I absolutely 100% disagree with you, Jessica. I'm going to tell you why I disagree with you, Jessica, because like I just said earlier, you have companies out here making supplements. It costs a lot of money for that fighter to take that supplement to a lab, for them to break down all the ingredients, grab a list of banned substance, and try to go through and comb and see what's this, what's that, how is this made and all that. That's not the way it works. A fighter, depending on who they are, he or she, they do not have the resources to put it in the lab before they actually get to work. Sponsors come at fighters all the time. Hey, we want to talk to you about potentially being an athlete under our brand. We already know who you are. This, and they start talking and all that, and then they say, "Hey, we have this supplement." Every fighter don't have the finances to take it to the laboratory. Only thing they can do, if they have a person or people in their circle that's holding down a position to do that, they do a thorough job to make sure you're not going to pop dirty. But for decades, fighters have taken supplements. And a portion of that supplement can be contaminated with a banned substance. And Jessica, let me tell you this. How do you think banned substances get on the list? Because they have to go through a process where they already have certain obvious substance that's been on the list, but how they continue to keep building and building and building because people's in the lab. People are trying to beat the system. Just ask Victor Conte. He had some shit that was non-detectable. They're constantly trying to beat the system. So there's no way for you to already have a standing list and then just fighter being on a supplemental company as a sponsor. That's their sponsor. And for them to know that, hey, boom, the test doesn't just sit up here. It's only so many colors now. It's only so many, supplements they can test for. And those tests just don't come back right away. We're talking about overall. It all depends. I know they said for the A sample, it comes back in 72 hours. That's only for a certain list of freaking substance. That's only for testing for a certain list. Because when you talk about from boxing to mixed martial arts, you already read how your SADA test, vice how VADA test. We talking about track and field, basketball. We talking about all this shit. It's different drugs on the list. It's different. So for a fighter to be able to get sponsorship, and it's a supplemental company that they don't have to pay for, and they take it and they find out, oh, it's beneficial. Oh man, I like this. Then all of a sudden, an ingredient from way somewhere else get put on the banned substance list, and they send it out, mass email to these fighters, hey, we have a new list, we got some new substance on there. The fighter that's taking these supplements really don't know if it's anything that they have, currently taking, that they have in their system that's on that list, because people are all about the training. They can't go and scrub. It's too many technical terms. It's shit that you couldn't pronounce if you tried for 5 years straight. And then once you get that pronunciation right and understand all what it does, you got motherfucking 80 more to do. And then you got to find out how the shit even come about being a banned substance. It's chemicals, man. They don't test specifically for 1, 2, 3. Man, that shit is so technical. That's why it costs money. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying, man. That's cost money, Jessica. It costs money for them to get supplements tested. Like, let's just say amino acids, for example. Amino acids, coming up, people used to love to take amino acids. You had the capsules and you have the tablets. Okay. Let's just say you, what was the one? Weider supplements back then. You buy amino acids from Weider. And that was the man back there, right? They say, hey man, Weider got these amino acids, 800 milligram amino acids. You take 4 before your workout, you take 4 after the workout, and you take it with a meal. And everybody's taking this Weider shit. Supplements don't stay the same. So even for Weider putting out amino acids, the ingredient is going to continue to change. It's going to continue to change, man. And look, Joe Weider, the only thing he can do is put faith in those who is freaking making a supplement. But then there's going to be other companies coming up, and they learn how to make supplements, and they bring out their amino acids, and so forth and so on. And everybody's amino acids is different. It depends on what pictures that you have on the front. You know what I'm saying? It depends on how many tablets you got to take. It depends on the price. Man, this shit is technical. It ain't all about just getting it tested. It's all about, hey, this is how I feel when I take this supplement. 90% of athletes are taking supplements, and that could be a low number. Yeah, I totally agree, Reggie. It's a lot of fighters. It's a lot of freaking professional athletes in various sports around the world that's taking supplements. A lot of them depends on that sponsorship for supplements. That's money that's not coming out their pocket. But for the sponsor, that's more eyes. For those of you that came up off MMA, not just in the UFC, but Bellator all over. You remember seeing that banner? The UFC, once it became sponsored, when it was Reebok that was on deck, that was the first one. They couldn't use it no more. You know what I'm saying? So before that, the fighters used to come into the cage and they used to throw that banner. They had the fighter's picture on there. They had all those sponsorships. I mean, I'm talking about a lot of sponsors. That's people who were supporting that fighter, who, when that camera zoomed in on that fighter inside the cage and they broadcast it across the world, all those sponsorships. And if that fighter was a good fighter, above average fighter, they're looking at that banner and say, oh, so-and-so take this. So-and-so take that right there. Oh, shit, let me look that up. Let me look that. And that's how they get it. If that fighter is taking it and they ain't coming up, I'm popping dirty. Oh, I'm definitely going to take it as a civilian. Let me go ahead and order this shit right here. Let me go to ProSource. Let me go ahead and order this. There's so many supplement companies out here that not all of them are the same now. Perfect example. When Rip Fuel was out, Rip Fuel was for shredding, burning fat. When the old Rip Fuel came out, it had something like Mohang. It takes me back to this ashwagandha shit, right? Rip Fuel had Mohang in it. It's a certain Rip Fuel, right? To burn fat. And in the Marine Corps, we had to maintain a weight standard. It's not from the brothers' weight standards, because that shit just wasn't right. You know what I'm saying? You 6'2", 6'3", on up 6'5", and they trying to say you should be down at the high ones and low twos. It just wasn't it. But anyway, you know, with physical fitness being a daily routine, Marines take supplements. And one that was going crazy was that Rip Fuel Mohane. Shredded. Your abs will be goddamn popping out. You feel like a beast up in that motherfucker, man. I'm saying, damn, you feel good off Rip Fuel. But before that Rip Fuel that came out, you take it and you crash off of it. And then they continue to build on Rip Fuel and come out with an even better supplement. And then you see the weight loss and you get shredded and you see your muscles and everything. And people gravitate to that shit. That's how word of mouth and all that shit travels, man. Then you had a new fat burner come out, right? And like I'm saying on the banners and everything, you have all these new supplements come out. And that fighter is up there fighting in front of your face. They're winning. You got people looking up the supplement they own, especially if they look like Vitor Belfort back in the day. The motherfucker was on TRT, but goddamn it, every other supplement he had on that banner. People like, I want to look like Vitor. I want hands to be like Vitor. He's on this right here. Okay, cool. They was looking up all the shit Vitor Belfort was on when he was muscles popping out everywhere and all that shit. They wanted to look like Vitor. They wanted to look like Mark Coleman, shredded than a motherfucker. Kevin Randleman. Motherfucker was shredded. TJ Dillashaw. TJ Dillashaw, when you saw that motherfucker take a deep breath and let out that roar when he has his fight announcement, it looked like he had 0.5 body fat. That motherfucker was so shredded, he ended up popping EPO. You know what I'm saying? Look, if Ryan Garcia, you know, would have came with some EPO shit, and he goddamn stopped Devin Haney in the second round, I probably wouldn't be doing a live stream. Because I'm saying, you know what, this motherfucker, that shit gonna come back on this B sample, no doubt about it. Because Devin ain't never been to the canvas, first of all. Yeah, Jorge Linares hurt him in the 10, but he was dominating up to that point. So, you know, people call him Chenny after that. I guess it's just a black stigma thing. You know what I'm saying? Because they don't remember when the other fighters, the Mexican fighters, and you know, and the Russian fighters get dropped. Or the Japanese fighter. You know what they call it? Oh, so it's a warrior. He's a hero. You know what I'm saying? I need a hero. They start singing that shit in the back. If Ryan would have went in there and blasted through Devin Haney and stopped him in the second round, and he came back with EPO on his motherfucking test, I say, hey, without a shadow of a doubt, he dirty. Because we never seen Ryan do that before, and we have questions now. That's just like them saying that Crawford was on some peds, right? And the reason why they said that was because of what they witnessed inside the ring. It wasn't that Crawford's physique stood out. It was something they never seen before. It was just the punishment that he delegated out to Errol Spence Jr. And the way he was beating him up, how dominant he was, how much of a masterclass it was. And then the default was, oh, he's taking something. But no dirty test. And no dirty test. And it was said that both fighters was on the testing. But for Ryan Garcia, truth be told, the first 6 rounds wasn't no freaking Marvel comic superhero shit. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't. Even the knockdown, it kind of caught us off guard. Just like the first knockdown, when Crawford knocked down Spence with a jab, it's like, what am I looking at? What happened? That wasn't supposed to happen that way. Yeah, that's how it happened. And then you look at the face. You look at Errol Spence's face. You look at Devin Haney's face. You say, oh, shit. They really hurt. I mean, yeah. This for real. They hurt. But the difference between Crawford's performance and Garcia's performance is that Crawford was already established. I know people don't want to hear this, but he was already stopping people in the division. People kind of looked at him as like, yeah, I can see him delegating that. I can see him executing that. I can see him being authoritative like that. I can see him implementing that type of freaking strategy and punishing his opponent. Garcia, not so much. People sit up here and tell you all the bullshit they want to tell you, but there's no way that they expected Garcia to go in there and do what he did. So when the drug test coming back dirty, I can see why people like Jessica and a lot of other people saying, yeah, he should be suspended. Of course, if the man is guilty of having something in the system, it's all dependent on if they believe it's willingly or he unwillingly. You can't say, okay, it was unwillingly, but you want to prosecute him like he's willing, like he purposely took it. It's highly possible for an athlete to unwillingly consume or digest a supplement that's contaminant. Good one. Thanks for bringing that up, Reggie. Reggie bring up a very valid point. I couldn't think of it. He brought up, remember hydroxycut. He said that shit was the hottest supplement out back in the day, but it was messing with folks' heart before they took it off the market. A few weeks ago, I seen a commercial for it. That is what I was thinking and comparable to Rip Fuel. Appreciate that, brother. Hydroxycut had put a stimulant in it where Marines, this you can look it up. The Marines banned it from being in the GNC on base, y'all. Motherfuckers are popping their heart. Now, anybody, I'm speaking from the Devil Dogs. We used to PT all the time. So therefore, we used to do daily exercise before PT. Motherfuckers used to come out there, goddamn, on that hydroxycut. I ain't gonna lie, man. I felt like a Kodiak motherfucking bear out there, bitch. I say, where are we running for? When the next city at? What we running to the next city? I mean, I'm talking about you going through the daily 7 routine, then you get ready for the run, you feel great. But guess what? When you put a supplement out there in an environment where it's physical fitness, it's competition, you know what I'm saying? You out here trying to meet standards, especially weight standards, you're going to have those individuals purchasing that. Why? Because they word of mouth somebody else's person. They seeing results in the gym. They seeing motherfuckers coming back on the run shredded. Let me get me two of those bottles of hydroxycut, please. And then the motherfucker running. Get call the medic. Get the vehicle up here. Motherfuckers having heart attacks, man. Marines was having heart attacks. They said, nope, gone. So hydroxycut came out with another one. It wasn't the same. It wasn't the same. That Rip Fuel with Mohang came and went. That hydroxycut came and look, this is one more for you, Reggie. Goddamn the ephedrine. When ephedrine was on the shelves, oh my God. Oh, look, it's some supplements you would like to see in professional sports because, man, I'm telling you, ephedrine, bro. When that shit was on the shit, bro. Ephedrine? Motherfucking go up there and pick up 100-pound dumbbells for warm-up. Yeah. Be having conversations. Oh, man, I'm feeling good. I'm getting... 18, 19, 20. Drop them motherfuckers. Man, I'm feeling good. Man, what the fuck you on? Oh, I got some of that ephedrine. And I took about 3 hydroxycuts, nigga. I'm the Hulk. Fuck David. Well, I'm thinking, and I'm staying true to what I said about Ostarine. I don't see Ostarine as a drug that's holding weight right now in comparison to NADROLONE that he was cleared from. It's no comparison. It's no freaking comparison, y'all. The most concern would be the anabolic. Then you talk about SARM, yeah, everybody's a freaking expert with SARMs. Kudos, respect to you, salute for researching and reading. Salute, real talk. I ain't hating, but I'm just saying. A lot of you cats ain't been into the fitness community. A lot of you ain't dieted. A lot of you don't know how to maintain a certain level at this. You know, a lot of you don't know how to maintain a calorie intake. You know what I'm saying? To get to a certain level, you know, it's just difficult. You know, when civilians try to act like it's against the law or it's bad for, you know, you to take supplements. If you don't have nobody to answer to, there's nothing wrong with taking supplements. But when they have their favorite fighter who tests positive, they try to act like it's weed, like it's crack, like it's meth. You know what I'm saying? This is something different. You're trying to sit up here and convince and say, okay, why is Ryan Garcia innocent? Why is he guilty? And my whole intention for this live is to, you know, just briefly give you an understanding that NADROLONE, the heaviest out of the two, the heaviest of the one half, has been cleared. Ostarine really don't fucking matter. Seriously, people trying to boost up Ostarine like it's this huge freaking performance enhancing drugs that people been damn meeting new heights and breaking records with. You're not going to do that with that shit. And a lot of people didn't know what Ostarine was before Ryan Garcia popped. And why would he pop on Ostarine? It's not that it hasn't been out there, because the article that I read and the video, that shit was like 2017. The other live I did 2015. And then that article was what 3 years ago? Ostarine's been out for a while. And the problems with supplement makers and what they was having with the FDA and putting out a supplement that's approved by the FDA, so to speak, kind of. But they trying to put other freaking supplements in there that's not approved. You know? Yo, Vitor looked crazy when he was 19. Yeah, man, Vitor had the physique of all physiques. You know what I'm saying? Vitor had the physique of all physiques, man. People looked at Vitor and say, God damn, I named my kid Belfort. I like that. Hey, Belfort, where you at? I'm right here. Oh, man. Nice game, son. I know. I'm ready to compete with the best in the world, Dad. Yes, go out there and be a Belfort. What about our last name, Dad? Our last name ain't Belfort. All I want to hear is Belfort. I just want to hear them announce Belfort. Motherfucker was ripped. Had some of the fastest hands. A lot of soldiers was on that hydroxy cut. It was crazy. Hey, man, a lot of Marines was on it too. It was nothing wrong with taking a fat burner. I took fat burners. It's how much you take. It's how much you take. Some people, look, this is where it went wrong. I'm just going to say where it went wrong for the Marines. It went wrong because motherfuckers taking pre-workouts with freaking fat burners. And your heart, and their heart was like, bitch, what the fuck you doing? You trying to die today? I'm struggling in this motherfucker. They heart talking to him. You on the goddamn 6 mile? I'm hurting. I can't give you no more. The motherfuckers out there just going off their psychological stimulant. Telling that hydroxycut was putting motherfuckers damn near close to Arlington Cemetery. Yes, we're here today on a somber note. Lance Corporal Julius Whittingham. Oh man, he was a good Marine. He just couldn't let go of hydroxycut. It was like crack. He was orally taking it, sniffing it, putting it in his food. He loved it. He didn't sleep for months. Come on, bro. Bruce Gas Boxing Jazz, some more. Salute to you, OG. How you feeling, man? Andrew Charles on deck. That ephedrine was the in those supplements now. It's all caffeine. Yeah, Bruce, man. That pure ephedrine. Oh my God. Thank you, Holy Jesus, Man, that ephedrine was just something special. It was a beautiful supplement. Sexy. That ephedrine just give you recovery, give you strength. It give you goddamn everything you look for in a sup. Until this is no longer legal on a military installation. All because of what? We're going to serve a country, not stepping on stage competing. Damn near every supplement that somehow an abuse happened when they overused it, and it basically the results ended with a medical condition, or them being hospitalized. Only then, when it started become across bases, they took it off the shelves. Ephedrine moved it. Rip fuel, hydroxycut. They came back with the basic shit, dog. You know what I'm saying? They came back with hydroxycut. It looked like it had Folger goddamn coffee beans in it. What the fuck am I supposed to do with this shit? It still give you a little bit of high, but if you want the same effect, all you gotta do is go to Starbucks. Yeah, just pick up you a goddamn one shot of espresso, and you're good. And hydroxycut ain't the way it used to be, buddy. You got that right. You got that right. Ephedrine used to be the shit. God damn, she was sexy. Motherfucker, look, ephedrine used to come in on the Marine base, and if you was at work and that shit was stocked on the shelves, you SOL, goddamn it. You are SOL. Because that shit went off the shelves quick. Motherfuckers' marriages was A1 when the ephedrine was on the shelves. Hey, dog. Everything. I mean, motherfucker was goddamn Hercules when ephedrine was. I'm serious. They wanted to go to war. They feel like if they got shot with a 50 cal round, they can. It wouldn't do nothing. It wouldn't do no harm. With, I'm on ephedrine, nigga. I'm good. I could take care of that. That's why I got 200. It blew my hand off, but I'm good. I don't feel shit. Hey, man, go in my pack and get that ephedrine out there. Give me 2 tabs and goddamn stop this bleed, man. Put some ephedrine on that right quick, man. Put a tourniquet on that so stop this bleed. Man, ephedrine was a shit. Shout out to 402 in the building. I'm just says, what's the latest, bro? The latest is that we still waiting on the B sample. But in reality, my whole point was to basically brief people that Ostarine is not as worse as they trying to make it. It's some people that straight up, I get it. You're advocating for the Devin Haney. You're advocating for the Ryan Garcia. I do understand. They want to say, oh, he's a cheat. I understand where you're coming from. But I'm trying to tell you, not a one of you knew what Ostarine was. I'm not saying Bruce, so to speak. Bruce is very knowledgeable on a lot of shits, you know what I'm saying, back in the day. But I'm saying a lot of you cats, for one, don't work out. You really didn't know what Ostarine was because it was no point in your life that you had to take something like that. But I'm saying he was cleared. How can he be cleared in NADROLONE? But yet people start to say, okay, I'm going to take that energy that I have for NADROLONE. I'm going to take all that and I'm going to goddamn massage that into Ostarine and make it just as freaking equitable as NADROLONE. You're not going to do it. Ostarine is not, doesn't hold the same weight. It doesn't. It doesn't hold the same weight, man. So you're trying to say, okay, Ryan Garcia is still guilty. He's guilty. Hey, if he's guilty on this sample that's returned and it comes back, I'm pretty sure they will do what they do. You know what I'm saying? Alicia Baumgartner came back dirty recently, didn't she? I really didn't see a whole lot of energy put on that. I think it's a lot of energy with people trying to come to the aid of Devin Haney. It always takes a moment like this for somebody to recognize a fighter that they've been fucking with. Like they've been fucking with Devin for he got pillow fists. And then Ryan Garcia goes through this shit, this charade for months and act like he's on the edge. He's mentally fragmented. You know what I'm saying? He's a psychological what is it? He's degenerate. He's losing it. He may not make it to the fight. Misses weight. It just was a lot for people to unpack. They said, man, this dude played us. He acted like he was crazy. He missed weight. Then he won the fight. Didn't get the title, thank God. He won the fight with knockdowns and then popped dirty on the test. They said, no, we want to support Devin now. We want to do it in the name of Devin. And that's what you got going on. And then there's some people that said, man, fuck that. Ryan Garcia beat him fair and square. You know, Perez ain't giving you no freaking technical advantage. So we just have to be patient, y'all. We have to be patient and wait. That's all I'm saying. Y'all remember the Oscar Valdez situation, right? It says Wilder has some of the best scientists in the world who look very closely at this. He said, my criticism of Wilder is that they maybe put too many things on the prohibited list. They act with an abundance of caution. I haven't found things that should be prohibited that aren't, but I have found in many cases there are things that are on that make you wonder if they should be on the list. I'm reading from this article. And this is, from an article way back when Oscar Valdez popped positive. It accelerates your heart rate, which means your blood pumps more oxygen to your muscles. He said, it's the number of repetitions you can do. Let's call it speed endurance. What happened is if you're running 40 yards, let's just say as a football player, the question is not about the second, the third, the fourth, the fifth rep. Without this, when you get to the later reps, your times get slower. With it, you can repeat the high level performances more time so you get what we call the speed endurance. That was what Oscar Valdez was caught with. You know what I'm saying? Ostarine, all people are talking about is a SARM. SARM. Give me some SARM soup with some SARM fries on the side and put some SARM cubes in there. Can I get a SARM fork? Everybody's just talking about SARM, man. I understand that it sounds good and all that, but none of you knows, like these very in-depth high-end supplements to basically, let's just say you be on a cycle, you competing, or you're basically trying to go through a transformation process. It's a lot of people on here. I'm not saying none of you. I say it's a lot of you that haven't been through that process. To see your body go through transformation, to see the strength, see the recovery, to see the fat to muscularity transformation. You know what I'm saying? To see your body basically look totally different than what you did months ago. You know what I'm saying? To be patient enough to see everything work out for you. Just to see it in the mirror. To see how muscles truly look the right way. You know what I'm saying? And knowing that you took this, and this to get the way you got a lot of motherfuckers that'll sit up here and say, well, I'm natural. But they'll tell you they taking like six different supplements. Well, you ain't natural. Natural is just living off the vegetables, fruits and vegetables, water, juice, shit like that. You can't say you're natural just because you're not taking an anabolic steroid. I mean, come on. Let's stop the madness. This is boxing scene. You say Ryan Garcia still positive for Ostarine, cleared of NADROLONE, awaiting B sample test. You know what I'm saying? The good thing about Ryan is that he petitioned for the B sample. You know what I'm saying? It's saying, in short, Garcia tests positive for Ostarine on 2 occasions. And for that, he will be called before the New York Athletic Commission unless the B samples prove different. You know what I'm saying? Unless the B samples prove different to the A samples. It is possible that Garcia's points victory will instead become a no contest on the boxer's record. Garcia attempt to use his clearance as a full acquittal, who has accused outside forces of trying to take the victory away from him over the past week. Yes, Ryan Garcia said it was a con job. So Ryan said, so y'all realize I didn't fail the test now. He posted on social media. No substance other than this imaginary ostrich substance. Levels so low wouldn't have any effect. They tried, but no lie stands. Praise God. Now, he seems very confident in this shit. I ain't gonna lie. Garcia also added that he had been drinking and smoking cannabis throughout the entirety of the training camp ahead of facing Hamey, claiming he was high as F when he stepped through the ropes to face WBC super lightweight title holder, which is cap. He wasn't. He even said it. He said, if I was on steroids, I would have been in way better shape, Garcia claimed. I was literally drinking every day, smoking weed. I did not stop. Not even until the effing day of the fight. I got there high as fuck and I beat his ass. I mean, that shit sound good. You know what he talking about? Real talk. It sounds good, people. But that's just not true. He wasn't drinking every day. He wasn't smoking every day. You know, in New York State Athletic Commission, man, they don't play that. You know, they're not like Nevada. They would have busted him and he would have tested positive for weed. Real talk. You can't say in one sentence that you came up clean on previous tests, but then you're telling people you smoked cannabis every day and drunk. No, that's just cap, man. Don't forget what I told y'all about him. Those of you that followed me back then, what did I call Ryan? I'm the one that came out with that. I call him Ryan Lion Garcia. And Bill Haney started using it, but he didn't want to give me credit for it. I was calling him Ryan Lion Garcia, and then he started calling him Lion Garcia. Lion Ryan. He called him Lion Ryan. But I'm the one, look back at my motherfucking shit. I said, I started calling him Ryan Lion Garcia years ago. And I did that video with him capping for being a duckologist. But we're going to find out soon enough, y'all. We're going to find out soon enough what's the deal. I didn't know what it was until I heard it was a SARM. You know what I'm saying? No, and look, Ryan Garcia called it ostrich. Ostrich. Man, come on, man. It's not like it's impossible for him to pop dirty with Ostarine. But he just said on the article from Boxing Scene there, Bruce, that the levels was extremely low. It wouldn't have did shit. So really, you know, once again, we're going back to quantitative versus qualitative, right? If we're talking about Ostarine, which it does deal with quantitative, if it is a certain level that they look at to say, well, the levels are so low, just like John Jones in the picograms, based off his last findings, they popped positive, and to now, there was no elevated levels, right, of John Jones at that time. Well, Ryan Garcia, being this his first time, they can just go off what levels are considerably to be something that they can benefit off of as far as enhancement, and certain levels that are too low for him to have any advantage. That's where we at with it. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Bomac in the building. Salute to you, man. He said Devin was outboxed, plain and simple. His defense garbage. Hey, shout out to Bomac in the building, man. if that's the real Bo Mack or not. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Shout out to him though, the mastermind. You know what I'm saying? That boxing genius. Salute to you for pulling up, man. Just like Tim Bradley, he capping when he said he was 100% vegan. Hey, man, come on, dog. Hey, Bo Mack, what you say? You say I eat knowledge. Hey, they was busy worried about everything else. You said I eat knowledge, goddammit. You worry about the wrong thing. He said 100% vegan. Hey, Tim Bradley had to lose weight there, Bo Mack. He had to, because he had to take a picture or something. No, he had to fit into his jacket. He said he had to lose weight for the Hall of Fame. He had to fit in his jacket. You know what I'm saying? So he felt his head was getting a little bit too big on camera. He had to lose weight, man. He talking all over the place now. I don't know who to believe. Hey, it's very difficult, but I'll say this, Bo Mack, that Ostarine, it ain't a soul on here that was talking boxing that knew what the F Ostarine was. They might have knew what NADROLONE was. You know what I'm saying? And his abilities. Nobody knew what the fuck Ostarine was. You know what I'm saying? Nobody knew that shit. Look at Ryan's physique doing the Tank fight. And Ryan physique doing the Haney fight. In Haney fight, his body looked a lot different. Well, they gonna have to figure it out. You know what I'm saying? They gonna have to figure it out. Real talk. They gonna have to definitely figure it out, man. Because the B sample has been petitioned, and we just have to wait for, the results to come through. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Chastity Thomas in the building. I see you on deck, Queen. How you living? How you feeling? He said, this bag of Cheetos right here, cuz this knowledge right here. Yeah. He said he eat knowledge, goddammit. He say he eat knowledge, man. I ain't mad at you, man. You know what I'm saying? They should have you commentating more, man. They should put you up there next to Timothy Bradley so you can check him on that bias shit he be popping off. You know what I'm saying? That shit need to stop. But for Ryan Garcia, man, who knows? You know what I'm saying? Hey, no doubt. Who knows, man? We're going to find out, plain and simple, real soon. We're going to find out if he's dirty, if he ain't dirty. You know what I'm saying? Is it going to be a no contest or are they going to keep it the same? That's the real big deal. You know what I'm saying? And Bo Mack, hey, salute to y'all, man. Y'all going to be stepping back in the ring real soon. I know you got a lot of hitters over there. Shout out to y'all, man. You know what I'm saying? Pound for pound best. And since you're on deck, man, I got to tell you how they keep on trying to put Inui up there. Inui getting off the canvas. What's your thoughts on that? They say he was a hero, Bo Mack. They say Inui was a hero for getting off the canvas. So that he deserves to be pound for pound number one, man. You know what I'm saying? He deserves to be pound for pound number one. Because he's a hero from getting off the canvas against Neri. Not that he got caught and spun around, but he's a hero, man. He's a hero. Let me check one more while I'm on here. I know Eddie Hearn. I don't want to really get on Eddie Hearn shit on what he's saying. I'm definitely not going to talk about that heavyweight unification. But we're going to have to be patient. You know what I'm saying? People still placing scrutiny on the Ostarine situation. And we're going to see how that all turn out, people. Real talk. We're going to see how it turn out. But once again, shout out to the hottest chat in the MF and game. Appreciate y'all for pulling up. Staying tuned. Man, we're going to stay close to this situation. And of course, this probably won't be the last time I'll talk about it. But I just wanted to kind of give y'all an understanding that Ostarine is a lot lighter when it comes to whatever benefit the whoever's taking that has. It's nothing compared to NADROLONE. And the reason why I say it, because NADROLONE, he's been cleared of. Now people want to encapsulate Ostarine as being this freaking drug that just gave Ryan the freaking boxing IQ strength, gave him the physical strength, and everything else. But if by chance that was his second fight with Derrick James, hey, you know what I'm saying? He won both fights. He won with Duarte and he won with Haney. All we got to see now is how's this B sample going to come back, because supposedly he got his people looking into it or whatever he did. You got, he has professionals looking to his B samples. So, truth be told, man, I don't think Ryan Garcia even care if he's come back dirty from Ostarine or not, because he feel like it was a con job. You know what I'm saying? I think Anui, yeah, a lot of people say that. Even I said that, you know what I'm saying? Because he want to fight in Japan all the time. And being that I was over there for several years, and I mean, people felt I was being racist because, I say it was no comparison. The man want to stay over there in Japan for a reason. And y'all already heard what I said about the state athletic commissions, right? All of them are different. So, it's a reason. It's not like he's fought 3 times over here. You know what I'm saying? But he wasn't really campaigning and doing what he's doing now with all those championships. So they feel like, why don't, since he's fighting in front of his country, why don't the fighters come over here? And Anui's been on record saying he don't really care what they talking about as far as him, fighting in Japan. That's his country and that's what he feels, he should fight. But you gotta understand that the athletic commissions are kind of different over here in the States too. I want to see, what's going to be up. I know, we got some nice ones at 126. If he's looking to be 5th division world champion and try to continue to fight to have his name on the pound for pound list, it's got some hitters at 126, man. Let's go. You spinning around looking like a ballerina and then you get up and go finish the fight. I respect it. I salute. You know what I'm saying? I salute him. He got up, he went and got the job done. But I ain't never seen Bud on the canvas like that. I'm just saying. And don't come calling this man a hero. If Crawford would have been on the canvas like this, y'all would have said, oh man, that's what I told you about Gamboa, man. This shit all started from Gamboa. Gamboa hurt that boy back in the day. They still talking about Gamboa this 10 years ago and talk about Green Machine. And Anui, they put in the caption, he's a hero. He gets off the canvas. He's a hero and finish the fight, man. Stop it. Stop it. Nobody want to hear that bullshit, man. Anui was shook when Bud sneezed. He jumped. Let's keep it real. He's not a Bud Crawford. Hey, man, when he could talk that shit from afar, that Bo Mac. You know what I'm saying? Anui say, I'm so far away. I don't think I ever have to goddamn come in close proximity to Crawford, man. I'm good. I'm going to keep on talking this pound for pound shit from afar. Because I don't have to see, you don't have to experience with Crawford pulling up on him over here. Because he ain't over here like that chilling. If he had a real honor, he would risk it and fight in the States against a big name. I agree, man. Why not? I agree. Why not? Bring your ass over here, man. But he said, no matter what people are talking about, he gonna stay in Japan. He gonna do what he do in Japan, knowing that he got the red carpet, the rose petals. Man, it ain't no A side, B side. It's the side. Man, they probably give him everything he looking forward, man. American fighters and whoever fighting over there, man, they just go over there and go through the motion. Have somebody come in the dressing room and goddamn see his hands get wrapped. Besides that, man, come on, bro. Don't nobody see shit going on over there, man. Crawford has more Japanese honor than Anui, and he's not even Japanese. Damn. Most heavyweights also said Bud pound for pound. Yeah. A lot of people saying that Bud's pound for pound. You know what I'm saying? Even on the YTC, they say he's pound for pound. But I just can't get over how they say the way that man was spinning around like it was the remake of Beat Street. he get off the canvas and say he's a hero. How can you be a hero off Neary, who was already beat by Brandon Figueroa? I mean, he was already beat. It's not like he didn't have a defeat already. Y'all didn't call Brandon Figueroa a motherfucking hero. He beat Neary. Y'all weren't calling him a hero, but this Inui guy, I swear to God, this Inui guy, he gets off the cameras and they put the HERO on his name. I don't fucking understand that shit, man. Inui said Bud is pound for pound number one out of his own mouth. hey, so did Fundora. Hey, boy, man, what do you think about Fundora, the way his trainer looked at him when he said Crawford was the best fighter in the world? He goddamn didn't get permission to say that shit, man. His trainer looked at him like, huh? You're not supposed to say that, man. Al Heyman haven't stepped down yet, man. Chill. Marjamal trained with Bivol, and Bivol said Crawford the best in the world. Dang. Well, we're gonna see, you know what I'm saying, the transfer of titles soon. You know what I'm saying? Uzi said Crawford the best too. Hey man, I don't know what it's gonna take. You know, for them to stop just waiting for Inui to fight every other 2 to 3 months and to put him in there with somebody that they want to praise to the high heavens. Hey man, he a hero. Who he's gonna fight next? He gonna fight at 26? What he's gonna do next, man? There's not too many other people 122 that they looking at. They take less punishment in Japan. To the referee always breaks it up. Yes, according to who in the ring. Them Japanese referees. If Inui is delegating the punishment, the referee go fight. Yeah, if the goddamn American is putting them paws on them, break. Listen, warning, listen. The referee be giving warnings. God damn it, you're not paying attention. Devin posted saying Ostarine can only be bought in black market. I can buy everybody in this chat a bottle of Ostarine right now. I don't think Devin knows what he's talking about. Man, Ostarine, man, come on. It's no real source black market, man. Come on, man. Ostarine is not even that severe. Not even that high quality of a freaking ped for people not to be able to access it. You know what I'm saying? Blunt, shout out to Big Blunts and Box in the building. He said, Bobak, that's crazy. The Japanese fighter died recently from his fights. And the fight this past weekend, they was getting the shit beat out of them. Japan different, man. I was over there damn near 7 years, man. I'm telling you. Man, got much love for Japanese, you know. I mean, it was a different scene though. I got to see a lot over there in the pride and glory days, going to them fights and all that shit. A lot of fighters that now fight over here in the US footprint that was over there. I mean, I'm talking about looking like freaking giants. Alistair Overeem in Kickboxing Grand Prix. Oh my God. Bada Hottie. Man, oh man, that was just crazy, man. All them cats. Rampage was over there. Freaking Wanderlei Silva. All them cats, man. Fedor. Man, that shit was off the chain. His trainer is absolutely correct. Yeah. Hey, his trainer say, you know, he looked at him like he didn't get permission to say that shit. But that has went viral, man. I ain't gonna lie, that shit has went viral. You know what I'm saying? That shit has went viral up to this point. Has went viral.
Terrence Crawford is the best fighter in the world. I would like to fight him.
Thank you. Gail Falkenthal, NY Fights.
Terrence Crawford is the best fighter in the world. I would like to fight him.
His trainer looked like they was about to get executed once they walk off stage, man. You know what I'm saying? But shout out to Fundora, man, for wanting to fight the best in the world. Shout out to you, man. You ain't up here talking that Charlo shit, man. At least you up here saying, hey, I want to test myself. I want to go out there and fight the best in the world, man. How many tragedies happen to boxers fighting in the States, though? Anui number 2, Bud number 1 for sure. It's not even comparable. I'm just wondering, you know. I'm just wondering. Why did he look at Fundora like that? It's fighters that die in the States too. You know what I'm saying? But not all the time. You know what I'm saying? They just had a fighter that passed away that was in the combat. That was in the combat league. You know, some of these dang fighters that's having these health conditions. You know, that's why they passing away the way they are. And that brother just passed away. I think he was in the combat league. He had a fight in the combat league. He passed away. Yeah, man. But hey, y'all hold it down. We'll be back on. You know what I'm saying? Salute to everyone that's in the chat. Shout out to the hottest chat in the MF game. Appreciate you. One love. You know what I'm saying? We should do it again. Continue to support. Hit the like button on your way out. Peace.